Coming up on Cardinals Insider, Sonny Gray continues to dazzle.
You know, his presence on the mound and his prep work, everything is intense.
Plus, on this Mother's Day weekend, we hear about the real heroes in these baseball families.
I think number one, she's so caring and loving and serves others.
And later, the Cardinals and St. Louis just go together. A reminder why in just a little bit on a brand new Cardinals Insider. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm Oazi Smith. Sonny Gray headlined this winter's free agent additions. The righty has anchored the rotation so far, and his teammates are glad to be playing behind him instead of facing him.
Brad Thompson, Jim Hayes, and I are very optimistic tonight because at long last, partner, we get to feast our eyes on that man, Sonny Gray.
This is the guy that is set to anchor the rotation for the next 3 years in Sonny Gray. He's ready to rock and roll, and I can't wait to see it.
I'm glad he's on our team now because I didn't have very good numbers against him. But number one, I just think about how competitive he was on the mound. You always respect the pitchers that do it that way.
He's definitely a guy I don't like facing when when I'm playing against him, so I'm very glad he's on our team now. And you can just sense the intensity when you're standing in the batter's box against him. So not a fun at bat, so I'm glad we have him on our team now.
Pulls the string, and there's his first Cardinal strikeout. It comes against Bryce Harper, and it's a 1-2-3 Cardinal debut for Sonny Gray.
When I think of Sonny, I think it's a tough matchup with his size and stature, but the way he competes out there, he's a tough kid. You know, his presence on the mound and his prep work, everything is intense.
Sonny being across the field, he's intense, really intense. I don't know, there's not as many guys anymore that you watch that are like Sonny on the mound.
You know, Wayno was something similar like that. I've been around a few pitchers that are like that, and I respect it. You know, he's showing up on his start, ready to work.
Is cut on and missed. Sonny Gray has a double-digit strikeout performance.
I think intense is a good word to use. I think when he walks in a room, you know, guys kind of gravitate towards him and you know, they listen to him. So he's got that good presence about him.
Baseball is a 24/7 job. That means those at home end up pulling extra weight. To celebrate Mother's Day, here's the players talking about their significant others.
So what makes Amy a great mom?
I don't think we have enough time. Everything.
In the baseball life, these wives are pretty special. You know, there's a lot of separation, you know, during the season where you don't get to really raise your family, so to speak. You know, you're gone a lot, so I think they're kind of a one-man show, so to speak, and they do a lot by themselves, and you know, I think it kind of flies under the radar, but I mean, I have a great wife, and she does awesome for our baby girl and our family, and you know, she's the rock to this family and holds us together.
I think number one, she's so caring and loving and serves others, and I think that's almost every mom out there, but Amy does a tremendous job. She's always taking care of our kids and me and my family and her family, and so it's a very selfless job, a very thankless job, unfortunately, and just so appreciative of all she does for us.
It's been amazing to see her development over the past few months as she's become a mother, but she's been incredible with keeping her patience and keeping a great mindset throughout. And I know that she's going to continue to be a great mom, and I can't wait to see her continue to grow in that way.
But it's the little things. It's like, you know, the notes in the lunchbox to the kids, you know, making sure Christmas is magical. You know, everything that Lauren does is trying to better, you know, the family.
Right now, specifically, she's on tour. The person that's helping her out can't be there, so she's just flying by herself and traveling on buses by herself, being a mom, so it's pretty amazing.
Baseball is extremely selfish, you know, we travel a lot. Our schedules are really, you know, they're long days, and for her to deal with the baby and so many different things by herself, you know, it's not easy, and sometimes we think our job's hard, but being a mom's not easy also, so we're very fortunate for them.
Any wife, girlfriend, anyone that understands this profession, understands the ins and outs of it and how difficult it is, so having someone that understands that and can also take care of a lot of things while you're gone, and we look forward to the times when we do get together and spend a lot of time together. That's really important to have.
Straight ahead on Cardinals Insider, see why St. Louis and baseball are a perfect match in the Gateway City. The Cardinals have been in St. Louis since 1882. That's nearly 150 years of history between the city and the team. The Redbirds are as much of a fixture as the Gateway Arch itself. That's why you're seeing the club use the phrase "for the Lou" in so many places, because St. Louis is for the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are for St. Louis. Coming up, a lot can happen in a month. We recap the moments and memories from the first month of road trips.
Swing and a drive. Lars Nootbaar, break out the tape measure.
A lot happens over the course of a 6-month baseball season, and half of it happens away from your home ballpark. Our Emily Stevens has the evidence.
Well, it's hard to believe we are already 1 month into the season, and the Cardinals have already visited a lot of different cities. Here's some of the top moments from on the road. The Birds paid a visit to the West Coast to begin their season. At Dodger Stadium, Victor Scott II made his Major League debut starting in center field. After returning back home, the guys headed west again, this time to the desert, and welcomed back Lars Nootbaar. He made his 2024 season debut after being on the IL. Newt hit a 2-run bomb his first game back, a 438-foot shot in Arizona. Also in Arizona, new Cardinal Kyle Gibson organized a morning of volunteering with Adam Wainwright's charity Big League Impact. Mason Wynn, Matt Carpenter, and Ryan Helsley traveled to Mesa, Arizona to the nonprofit Feed My Starving Children. They packed meals for kids and their families all over the world. The guys visited the Coliseum in Oakland for the very last time. Our own Chip Carey got to spend time in the booth with his son, Chris. Like father, like grandfather, and great-grandfather, Chris Carey is the Oakland Athletics' newest broadcaster. And lastly, reunited with former teammate Harrison Bader in the Big Apple. Also, Wilson Contreras continues to rake, hitting home runs in both New York and Detroit. 1 month in and still a lot of baseball to come. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Emily Stevens.
The Cardinals Museum has a rotating gallery, which features a new exhibit each season. This year, the focus is on the Latino players who've suited up for the Cardinals.
Our new exhibit is Vivas Corones, and what we are doing is celebrating but also recognizing the 176 guys that are part of Cardinals history who are Latin and Hispanic. Some of my favorites, well, we have Albert Pujols rookie bat from 2001. It's usually on exhibit, but we've never brought it together with other things of his. There's a Yachty mask, which is wonderful, a Fernando Valenzuela jersey, Pedro Guerrero All-Star Game bat, The first Cardinal of Latino heritage was Alfredo Cabrera. He was from the Canary Islands, which is a colony of Spain. This was in 1913. He had 2 at-bats and unfortunately did not do well and was released the next year. But he was the first, and we have, fortunately, he's in a panoramic photo, so we have a photo of him. Polo, if you listen to the Spanish broadcast, has his little Poloisms. So I took that and expanded and made a little corner called Polo's Pop-Ups. And what it does is that's an opportunity to tell some of the Latin and Hispanic stories of Cardinals baseball that isn't covered in the exhibit, like Alberto's. And then throwing in little Poloisms, some of his almost Spanglish that he uses during the broadcast. The meat fell off the taco, but it's in Spanish, so I'm not going to attempt to say it. I think just that they were here, that they were important, and their stories are worth telling and recognizing, and we're going to do a better job of making sure that everyone who comes in here sees themselves. And that, to me, is the most important part. We also have done our labels in English and in Spanish, which is something we've never done before. It was a lot of work, and I worked with the Hispanic Festival Incorporated to get those translations, and I'm so excited for fans to come and see this. All fans. Will be open through February 2025. Museum is open Monday through Sundays, 10 to 6 unless it's a game day, and then we're open through the 7th inning.
Still to come, it's been a busy start to the year for the Cardinals podcast.
Nowadays, you hit a homer off me, do whatever you want. If I strike you out, I'm going to do whatever I want.
Hear more from Lance, Lynn, and others when we return. Lance Lynn is providing leadership and quality innings during his second go-around with the Cardinals. He discussed that and more on the Chatter's Box with Kyle McClellan earlier this year. Here's our Brett McMillan with more on that appearance and who else has joined the club's podcast recently.
There have been some great conversations so far on the Cardinals podcast this season. The Chatter's Box with Kyle McClellan welcomed Cardinals pitcher Lance Lynn. Of course, Lance and Kyle were teammates on that 2011 World Championship team. Kyle asked Lance, "Why do you get so fired up on the mound?"
You know, they started talking about let the kids play, right? Bat flip, do all that. So it's like, you want to bat flip, you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to yell at you. Remember when we first come up, it was like, you're yelling at guys. Big Carp wanted to hit everybody whenever they they didn't sprint out of the box on the homer. Nowadays, you hit a homer off me, do whatever you want. If I strike you out, I'm going to do whatever I want. That's where I'm at.
To get Gordon out, the next pitch is swung on and missed, and they win the bet. Lynn strikes out the side. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and the home run by Berger. We're tied at 1.
Over on the Cardinals Insider podcast, we celebrated the life and legacy of the late, great Whitey Herzog, and we did so by inviting in 2 of his former relievers, Ken Daly and Rick Horton. They talked about Whitey the person and also Whitey the baseball strategist.
You know, part of what I think he was always looking for in relievers is people that could go multiple innings. I think the way he wanted to manage this mix and match kind of thing, the bullpen by committee, which I still think he is the first one to create that phrase, and it is, several people say that he did. Others may have used the bullpen similarly, but that was his concept, I think. But the point is, you know, he had a method to that, and it would work if he had guys who number one could go long distance out of the bullpen, but number 2 could pitch the next day too. And so your ability to be able to come back was actually an ability I think he looked for.
Check out the Chatter's Box or the Cardinals Insider podcast anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Plus, you can watch full versions as videos on YouTube. Just check out the podcast playlist on the Cardinals YouTube channel. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Brett McMillan.
The Haichu Family Pavilion offers kids a place to get some energy out at the ballpark. Here's a look at some of the new games and foods that are making it even better than before.
We are here between gates 5 and 6 in our Haichu Family Pavilion. We are super excited because this year we made some big upgrades to our Family Pavilion. Busch Stadium now has an arcade equipped with, we have claw machines, we have skee ball, we have a hurricane simulator, which I think is going to be really popular during those hot July day games, you know, kind of an excuse to cool off. We even have some racing simulators, so it's super fun here, you know, something that will really elevate the game day experience, make it really fun, something for the kiddos, but also something for for the whole family. We have a cotton candy vending machine. So it's brand new here at Busch Stadium, and it's different than your typical cotton candy that you would find at a ballpark. This is made hot and fresh right in front of you. You get to pick your design, your flavors. It comes vends right to you, and you get to walk away with it. And I promise, it's one of those things that fans will stop you and ask where you got it. It's definitely a novelty food item, and isn't that the fun of ballpark food? I think that's the magic of Cardinals baseball and coming to Busch Stadium, is that it's something that you do with your family, with your friends. You know, it's something that's passed down through generations. So having a place like this where, you know, behind me we have our play structures. You know, the kids can come, they get to watch these athletes on the field, but also make memories here in the family pavilion. We even have some really fun things like our speed pitch. So if you're watching the game and you're wondering, you know, can I throw like those pitchers can? Come out here, we have a radar detected speed pitch. You can test it for yourself. See if you're ready to be pulled up to the big leagues. I love coming in here, watching these families make memories, hearing the kids laugh and have a good time. It really is special here at Busch Stadium.
When we return, I'm answering one of your questions. It's Ask Oazi, and it's up next. It's time for this week's Ask Oazi. Macklin in Holcomb, Missouri asks, what was your favorite part about Busch 2? When I started playing in 1978, a lot of the ballparks were more symmetrical. And coming here to St. Louis in '82, it was phenomenal to see the sun come through the arches. The arches played such a big part of the mystique of Busch 2, and it was always one of the things that I liked about it, the fact that it gave you that feeling of going to something magnificent, a magnificent structure. And coming to Busch Stadium at night was like when I was a kid going to watch wrestling. You know, the lights and everything made it exciting to come to the ballpark, and I enjoyed that aspect of it. Playing on AstroTurf was a much quicker game. I grew up playing on grass, you know, so it didn't make a difference. The real difference that I noticed between the two is that I had to continually tell myself when we made the transfer from the AstroTurf to grass to still be aggressive, because playing on AstroTurf could make you lazy because the ball got to you so much quicker. The heat was as bad, probably more than people could ever imagine in some of those summers, you know, and I tell guys that they have it really good today, because back in the day, the heat coming off of that turf, and you could probably see it if the camera was low enough, you could see the heat, and there was no place for it to go. So yes, it was hot, uniforms were hot, but you guys didn't care. You know, you just wanted to see a good performance every day, and hopefully we brought you that. Thanks for the question, Macklin. If you want to submit a question, head on over to cardinals.com/insider and click the Ask Oazi tab. But for now, don't go anywhere. There's more Cardinals Insider right after the break. When life gets busy, it's easy to let a few texts go unanswered. How many is a few? You be the judge on this week's Ask a Cardinal.
Sheesh. Let me see, actually. Can I check? On red? Oof, I don't know. A lot. Maybe 20, 30, I think.
Right now, none. I try to get back to people as much as I can, because I hate being left on red when nobody answers me, so I try not to be that way.
Oh no, I'm on top of all of them. I try to get back to people as quickly as possible. I'm like the person that doesn't have unread emails and doesn't have unread text messages or missed calls. I gotta keep it neat.
I'm the worst. If I had to guess, I mean, I haven't really looked at my phone since this morning, so probably like 30 to 40, I would guess. I don't know. I'm terrible at responding to text.
On my, through text, probably have like 40 or 50. Social media, I probably have a ton of them.
Honestly, probably 0, less than 5. I hate seeing the numbers up there. I truly try not to ignore people, so.
6.
You know for sure, you got a cold.
Yeah, I got it. And 2 of them were family group chat, so.
Right now, I'm pretty good. I got like maybe 7 or 8, but I'd say generally I'm in the like 50 to 100 range. I'm pretty bad at getting back to people.
Probably like over 200.
What? Yeah. You gotta get to it. People are trying to get a hold of you.
Oh, I just went through them. I opened all of them. I had over 300, and that's because I see the text and I just don't open it. But now I have like 30.
819.
I got a new phone, so I actually only have 4. But before I lost my phone, I think I had like 2,000. So I'm glad I got a new phone, so now I can respond to everybody when they text me.
A decent amount, but I'm in group chats and stuff like that too. So I don't know, probably around 100.
What about emails?
Emails, that's a different story. I got like 20,000 of those.
I got a lot of emails.
If it's able to be maxed out, probably maxed out. The little icon on my phone just says like, it's gotten to the number where it just puts the plus sign after it. Like it just doesn't count up anymore.
Emails might be a little worse. 12,396.
5,665. I was on my phone before this, so like the Boot Barn kind of emails, and I like Boot, so stuff like that, it just piles up, you know.
I feel an endorsement coming with Boot Barn.
0. I just delete them if I don't want to read them.
That's it for this episode. You can always catch us online at cardinals.com/insider or watch full episodes on YouTube. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you right back here next week.